In the quiet expanse of the countryside, an unsettling tale lurks in a story of dread and the unknown that has captivated the imaginations of many. What exactly lies beyond the veil of darkness? What secrets are whispered among the trees when the world slumbers? When night falls over the countryside and silence begins to dominate the fields, something changes in the way the world seems to breathe. The wind crosses fences, sways dry leaves, and produces small noises that draw the attention of those who are still awake. Animals grow restless. Dogs bark at the darkness for no apparent reason. Chickens stir inside their coops. It is in this atmosphere charged with expectation that one of the most disturbing legends of the modern era was born, the Chupacabra. Everything began with discoveries that were difficult to explain. At dawn, farmers found their animals lying on the ground, stiff, with no clear signs of struggle. There were no obvious tracks, no common bite marks, no blood scattered around, only small punctures in the skin and an unsettling emptiness in the animal's eyes. The feeling was that something had drained the very essence of life during the night, silently, without leaving traces. The initial shock quickly turned into fear, not only because of the material loss, but because of the perception of vulnerability. If something was able to enter properties, cross fences, act unseen, and disappear before sunrise, then nothing truly seemed safe. Nights became longer. Flashlights stayed on for more time. Doors began to be locked more carefully. The countryside, once associated with tranquility, started to carry an air of invisible threat. The reports spread like wildfire. A neighbor heard about another farm being attacked. A cousin claimed to have seen a shadow moving among the trees. Someone swore they noticed glowing eyes in the dark, reflecting the moonlight. Some spoke of a small and agile creature. Others described something larger, with a reptilian appearance, rough skin, silent movements, and a presence that seemed far too intelligent to be just a common animal. In Brazil, the legend found fertile ground. Radio programs, newspapers, conversations in markets, and roads fueled the mystery. Blurred photos, low-quality videos, and emotional testimonies reinforced the feeling that something inexplicable was happening. Each new rumor reignited collective fear, as if the creature were always one step ahead of human understanding. But the deepest impact was not only on public curiosity. It was on the emotion of those who lived in the countryside. The silence of the night, once comforting, began to disturb. Darkness ceased to be merely the absence of light, and became a space where anything could hide. The sound of a breaking branch turned into an alert. A distant shadow could make the heart race. Imagination began to fill the gaps left by the lack of answers. A tentative explanation emerged. Attacks by wild animals, diseases, collective hysteria, exaggerations, but no explanation seemed completely satisfactory to those who had seen their animals dead without a logical cause. The absence of certainty fed the mystery even more. When reason cannot close a story, fear finds room to grow. The Chupacabra came to symbolize something greater than an unknown creature. It became the representation of human fear of the invisible, of what cannot be controlled, of what escapes the senses and logic. It is the same ancestral fear that has accompanied humanity since the caves. The dread of what moves in the darkness, of what watches unseen, of what approaches in silence. Some say that the most frightening thing is not the possibility that a monster exists, but the feeling that our perception of the world may be incomplete, that perhaps there are phenomena we still do not know how to explain, that not everything fits neatly into the ready-made answers of science, at least not immediately. This space between the known and the unknown is exactly where legends are born and survive. Even with the passing of years, the Chupacabra has not completely disappeared. It has resurfaced in waves, in new reports, in different regions, like a persistent echo that refuses to fade away. With each new story, the same silent question returns. On some distant night, something is truly watching from the other side of the fence. Perhaps the true power of this legend lies precisely in the emotion it awakens. In the chill that runs down the spine when the countryside becomes too silent, in the unease that arises when darkness feels denser, in the reminder that No matter how much technology exists, we are still vulnerable in the face of the unknown. The Chupacabra does not need to be seen to exist in the imagination. It lives in the fear that grows when night closes in the silence that seems to breathe, in the doubt that settles when something escapes explanation. It is the reflection of an ancient question that crosses generations. What truly inhabits the shadows when no one is watching? And perhaps it is exactly this question that keeps the legend alive, pulsing in collective memory, like a constant whisper that mystery never fully sleeps. What you saw is only part of the story. To stay up to date on upcoming facts and revelations, like, subscribe, and follow our channel.